welcome to another episode of SugarSaltnSpice.net. This is Sarada Ganesh, and today this flavor train is going to bring to you Paruppu Urundai Sambar, also known as Paruppu Urundai Kuzhambu. This is a Tamil dish, a Tamil speciality, very regularly made in our household. And the importance of this dish is that kids love it, and this is a great way to make them eat a lot of protein. A great vegetarian dish. Do try this out. Let's jump into the ingredient list. This is pigeon peas, yellow pigeon peas. Now I've taken 1 cup, I've washed it and soaked it. You have to at least soak it for half an hour before you proceed with the recipe. So yellow pigeon peas or Toor dal. This is tamarind. Now I've taken a ball of tamarind very close to a golf ball. So 1 ball of wet tamarind. Couple of red chilies. Half tablespoon of ginger, 1 green chili again for flavor, curry leaves, asafoetida, 1 tablespoon of sambar powder or to your taste, fenugreek seeds, half teaspoon of mustard seeds, coconut oil, turmeric powder and salt. So that is the exhaustive ingredient list for this sambar. Very worth it. Even though quite a few ingredients, the procedure is going to be quite easy and the end product is going to be awesome. So let's start making the sambar. First step, let's take this ball of tamarind and then transfer it to another bowl. Add some water. Now if you have tamarind paste, go ahead and use a teaspoon and a half of tamarind paste for this recipe. But for me, wet tamarind gives great flavor, so I choose to use wet tamarind. So what I'm doing here is I'm squishing the tamarind to get out all the flavor and the sourness into the water. I'll keep doing this till I get a very thick concentrated sour water from the tamarind, and I'll drain out the water. So I'm going to drain out the water into the pan in which I'm going to make the sambar. I'm going to use my fingers as the strainer here. So just want to retain the pulp. Usually if I have a feeling that I have not removed the entire pulp, what I do is I add some more water into this and I squish it again and I take another round so that I can get all the pulp from the tamarind. Just a tip. So onto this tamarind pulp extract, I'm going to add all the spices before I keep it in the gas for cooking. So first I'm going to add almost half to 3/4 of teaspoon of asafoetida. Asafoetida gives a lot of flavor to this dish, so don't be skimpy with it. Next I'm going to add some salt. Again, salt just required for the tamarind to cook through. Some turmeric powder. I'm going to add at least 1 tablespoon of sambar powder now. So I'm going to keep it for cooking. Once it cooks through, the next step. So next step is to make the Toor dal balls. To make the flavorful Toor dal balls, first we need to grind the Toor dal with some spices. So let's see. First, this is washed and soaked Toor dal or pigeon peas. Now please soak it for half an hour, and this is how they'll look after half an hour. So now I'm going to drain out all the excess water. Now you need not throw this water because this is clean water, and now this has a lot of nutrients from the Toor dal. So let's keep this water aside. Now make sure you drain out all the water because we want a tight dough from this. We don't want any kind of water content in these balls, because then they'll melt down in the sambar, they'll break out in the sambar, which we don't want. So remove all the water. Next, add 2 red chilies, some ginger. Now if you want, you can add a green chili for the flavor, but if you think it's going to be too spicy, please skip this. Some curry leaves again for flavor, as I've mentioned already in another video that I add curry leaves and I grind them so that it really goes inside us and we just don't throw it out. some asafoetida. Now by some I mean at least half teaspoon for 1 cup of tur dal. Salt, the salt that you need for just the tur dal, because for the tamarind water we have added it separately. And some turmeric powder. That's it. So as the next step, I'm going to grind this entire mixture in a blender, and we'll see after that. So my tamarind looks fully done to me. The smell has changed. We can very well say from the smell if the tamarind is cooked or not. So it's been 7 minutes now, 7 to 8 minutes, and the tamarind is done. So I'm going to switch off the flame now. So this is the tur dal mixture that I ground just now. I just wanted to show you. This is not a fine grind. This is a coarse grind, so that like it's not a fine paste. I've ground it very coarsely, not too coarsely though, medium coarse. Now we're going to make balls out of this, and we're going to place it. Now note that I have not added any water while grinding it. I just kept shaking my jar and I ground it through. So make medium sized balls. So I should have mentioned this earlier. The literal English translation of Paruppu Urundai Sambar is Paruppu in Tamil or Malayalam means lentil, that is dal, and Urundai means round, and Sambar is sambar. So these are roundels of dal in tamarind water. So switching on the flame again. Now I'm going to add, this is the water that I drained from the soaked lentil or the tur dal. So I'm not going to waste this water. I'm going to add this water into the tamarind, or you could add regular water if you already threw out yours. So we are adding this extra water so that the lentil balls that we add gets cooked through. So the extra water is for the lentil balls. And now slowly, without breaking, add the lentil balls inside the sambar. Place them gently so that they don't break. And there goes the last lentil ball inside the sambar. Now close this with a lid and let it cook slowly. It will simmer and cook, and the lentil balls will soak all the flavors of the tamarind and sambar powder and asafoetida. At the same time, it will get cooked. So we'll check this after 10 minutes. So the lentil balls have almost cooked. It's been 10 minutes now, and I occasionally opened and let air out. I would suggest not to close with the lid all the time. And I also turn the balls regularly so that it cooks on every side. So this is done now. The balls are cooked through. I'm happy with the consistency of the liquid. A small tip here, if you feel your sambar water is watery, what you can do is take half teaspoon of rice flour, mix it in water, maybe quarter teaspoon is enough depending on the quantity, quarter to half teaspoon of rice flour, mix it in water and pour it at this point and let it cook for 2 more minutes. Then the consistency of your water will be a little more saucy than watery, but I'm happy with this consistency. That's it. I'm going to switch off the flame, and last step, tempering. So for tempering, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, mustard seeds, transferring this to the dish. That's it. So the awesome Paruppundai Sambar is ready now. English translation is Tur Dal Roundel Sambar. So taste time now. Now the key thing about this sambar is to retain the roundness of this ball. If there is any water content in the tur dal mixture that you make, it is definitely going to break out in the sambar. So make sure you have a firm ball. Yeah, and one more tip. If you feel somehow water content came in your tur dal mixture, one way out is add some coconut oil or any oil in a pan and put the whole mixture and then keep stirring it until all the water content goes out, and then use the mixture to make the roundels. You'll get a firm balls in the sambar. So tasting this now. It's cooked through. This is going to be an instant hit with kids. Awesome. You try it out and tell me if it's awesome or not. So give me your valuable feedback and your liking for this dish in the comment section below. If you like this recipe, please give me a thumbs up down below, and please do subscribe to my channel. So try watching this channel if you really like it. Keep watching and please subscribe. This is Sarada Ganesh.